Let me start by saying good morning to everyone, and there'll be a Councilmember Carlos Cisneros and Councilmember Jack Christie. Is here? Councilmember, come on, get a little closer. Dr. Stephen Hall, who's the Director of the Office of Veterans Affairs, and Mr. Stroud, who is also standing with us, who is a veteran. And then I also want to acknowledge, though she's not standing here, but Betty Beckworth, who's the Program Director with the Texas Department of Health and Human Services, and Betty and I have known each other for to prevent suicide amongst those who have served our country. In fact, just off the beginning, I think there are about 20 veterans a day that commit suicides nationally, and we want to make every attempt to reduce that number down to 0. In March 2018, I was privileged to accept the Mayor's Challenge to end suicide among veterans, service members, and their families. Houston was one of the original 7 cities to participate in the Mayor's Challenge, organized by the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs and the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. The Houston's Mayor's Challenge is a partnership between the City of Houston Police, Fire, Health, and Veteran Affairs Departments, the Houston VA, the Texas Health and Human Services Commission, the Harris Center, the Council on Recovery, Combined Arms, and other local agencies. Partnerships between our local community, government, and nonprofit agencies will allow us to reach our Houston area veterans with a health approach. The Houston Mayor's Challenge team has developed multiple new and innovative strategies to prevent suicides in service members, veterans, and their families. The Harris Center and the Houston VA now have a hand for that. A network of communication between local hospitals and the VA to assist with veteran care is being built. And the Houston Police Department and the Houston Fire Departments are better able to identify suicidal behavior related to events and will begin referring people to ensure follow-up care is offered. The Houston Health Department is working with hospitals and the Houston VA to enhance care coordination for veterans who are discharged after suicide attempts. And all Houston Mayor's Challenge agencies have examined and refined the way the language is used with veterans to be in line with best practices to identify those who have served and their families and to not trigger those that are in crisis. I know this subject is very near and dear to Councilmember Jack Christie, so let me yield to him at this.
Some shock therapy. You're getting a letter that I sent to the soldiers' wives. They come back from the Middle East, they give them psychotic drugs. 2 main sides. I sent a letter and you'll see the solutions that I had for them. No response. They changed the head, I sent it again. Solutions. Cognitive behavioral therapy. That's mankind. We're covering up their pain with pain pills and opioids. You get that addiction, you go to alcohol addiction, you mix them, and they're in such pain. Alternative care instead of pills. With our soldiers.
I want to thank Mayor Turner and everyone here today as we focus our attention and the attention of our community on the topic of veteran suicides. There's so many veterans living and working, 1,000 veterans that receive care at the Michael E. DeBakey here in Houston. Mental health providers, including psychologists, social workers, psychiatrists, and more. We have the busiest OR of any VA in our country, support to veterans in crisis. We also offer at the Houston VA same day. It is a national public health issue that affects people from all walks of life, not just veterans, and for a variety of reasons. To put an end to veteran suicide. I am so.
Thank you, Frank, and thank you, Director of the City of Houston Public Health Department. Thank you, Steve, for your leadership.
The Harris Center for Mental Health and IDD is proud to be a member of the Mayor's Challenge to prevent suicide for veterans and military-involved families. The mission of the Harris Center is Commission. As such, we are the technical support and training hub for all local mental health authorities and other community.
So I'm The mission of Combined Arms is to unite the community to accelerate the impact of veterans on Texas.
Let me start with initiating it. So it's a mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be brief. I'd like to echo what's been said here today by this community stakeholders. These are true servant leaders. This issue is larger than citywide, it's larger than statewide, it's actually larger than nationwide and goes beyond that, and our sisters keepers. Most importantly, and I'd be remiss without doing this, is 8255. This number.
Thanks, Director Hall.
Our vets, treatment works. Recovery is, I think that's an opportunity too, you know, and how we reach their families that are so.
Call on our entire community to help us identify veterans in crisis. America's service members and veterans to come alongside me and the agencies and organizations in our mailbox. Even the smallest act to a veteran has the power to save a life. You can learn more at thereforveterans.com. BeThereForVeterans.com. Use those gun locks and offer information about how to get a free gun lock. We also have an Army veteran here, Tim Straw. Where's Tim? Tim's here. Who can even talk someone.
If you're not awake yet, I'm about to give you a verbal dose of caffeine. You can have a lot of fun by helping out veterans, and Will with Camp Shield, Mike Nash with Impact Financial Literacy, to get them into the circle of care that Dr. Laura Marsh talks about. It was above our pay grade, and as a medic, I'm trained to seek higher help. Activity knowledge. You got involved with one of the groups. The mission continues.
Just raise your hand if you're a veteran here today. Within our power to take care of you, and that's what's important. 20 losing their lives by suicide. Thank you. Thanks so much.
We're going to take a couple, so just keep smiling. Everybody's got it? No?